You are listening to the We Are Not Safe for Work podcast. Your hosts, Renee and Nadja, will dive into all the different reasons why some entrepreneurs become unemployable.
It really is such a vibe.
It's total vibe.
Like we knocked it out of the park when we were deciding the music.
Yeah. I don't know if we've done anything right since then. But
right?
we got that.
But if we did anything right, it was that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Winner, chicken dinner.
That's right. Our work here is done. The rest is just play.
Exactly. And I'm totally fine with that.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was busy. Oh my gosh, my weekend was so busy.
Wow.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Well, okay, so we have family visiting. So my cousin is visiting. Well, my cousins are visiting from Canada, and then have another like my aunt from Canada, and then my aunt from the Philippines. But most of them went to California to visit my uncle and aunt there. And then my other cousin is staying with us because my parents' house is full.
Okay.
But she went and joined them on Saturday. So, in
California,
airport and stuff like that. But like, so that morning, we realized that there was it was Friday night. We realized there was something weird going on with the freezer. I was like, the ice cream is melting, like it's soft and things like that. And so thankfully, because my parents at their house, they have like two freezers in their garage. They have like an upright that's just a freezer, and then they have a chest freezer. So I was like, I'm gonna move our stuff in our freezer into theirs. And so that's what I did. So I moved it all over there. But Friday morning, the fridge was also getting warm. And
no. Is this your primary fridge?
It's the only fridge.
Okay.
In the house. And it's the compressor, apparently LG, because it's an LG.
Hey, puppy.
It's LG has a class action lawsuit for this particular model or this series, right? Where the linear compressors go out early. So they extended the warranty, like it's covered up to 10 years and stuff like that. But like going through the hoops of trying to get the warranty coverage, like whatever their class action lawsuit, that's been a huge ordeal. Like Lance was on the phone with them, I don't know, for a while on Saturday. And then I was in contact with them yesterday trying to get it taken care of. They said that they would call me back. I haven't heard back from them yet. But essentially, like, my big thing is they were trying to get a credit card on file.
Why?
To be able to ship out, like to be able to send out an LG licensed or partnered service repair, and then send out the part, when it's confirmed or whatever. And I'm like, everything that I have read from other people who have done this have said that they were charged for like the full amount or whatever, and then they had to dispute it. Now, 9 times out of 10, they were able to, get it situated.
Yeah, why would you need a credit card for their problem?
Exactly. And that's what I was telling Lance. I was like, no, if they're telling you that they need a credit card on file, you tell them we don't have a credit card to put on file, right? And one of the reps told him, oh, well, can you borrow a credit card from a friend or family member? And I'm sitting there going, that is unethical. Like, how dare you even suggest that? And well, I get a little outraged. I get animated when I feel that there's injustice. And that was that was a big injustice to me. So, but we're going to get a new fridge. We've already picked out the one that we want.
Oh, really? Okay. What did you get? Yeah. What did you pick out?
It's a GE.
Okay.
And we were debating between like the French door side by side and then the French door with the freezer chest. because we don't like the freezer chest drawer. Just because things get lost in a chest. It's the same reason why we don't like the chest freezers, like the standalone chest freezers. We would prefer, right? But at the same time, because as you know, we host people at our house frequently. We also, we do big dinners or big parties and things like that. And we love the fact that with with that style,
the French doors,
you just have so much more space for like big
It's true.
things.
I wish I could get a fridge that is just a fridge. Like the whole thing is fridge.
Yep.
That would be amazing.
You can.
Can you? I haven't been able to find it.
Yes, you absolutely can. You can get a fridge that is just a fridge, and you can get a freezer that is just a freezer.
Yeah.
And that's actually one of the suggestions, because he was like, why don't we just get 2 fridges and then we put them like two refrigerators and we put them side by side or whatever. And I was like, A, that's going to take up so much space.
Yeah, I was going to say, where do you have the room for that?
I was like, B, that's ugly, right?
Yeah.
And then he was like, you just don't like it because it's unconventional. And I'm like, I mean, fair, but also no, we're not going to do that.
I hate our fridge downstairs. I have never hated an appliance more than I hate
yours is a French door, right?
No. Well, okay. We have the inside the house, we have the 2 side by side, so the freezer's on one side. But what I hate, and I think ours is a GE, maybe it's a Whirlpool. No, I think it's a Whirlpool. What I hate about it, A, it's cramped. Like there's just not much room in the fridge.
Yeah.
But also the shelves have this roll off and this big gap. And so things just, if you push something all the way to the back, it just falls down.
Oh.
The shelf doesn't go all the way to the back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what kind of design is that? That's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard of in a fridge.
It's for the as I smack myself in the face, it's for the flow. The flow of the cooling, because
there has to be, maybe you could put slots for the flow.
Well, so usually that's what it is. Like there's like a little grill at the back.
Right. So that would be fine.
And then that way things
fall off
slip
all the
down.
time.
Yeah. Because our current fridge is like that. Like you can push things all the way to the back, but there is a little gap. And that is so that it prevents it, because otherwise things freeze in the fridge. And like,
yes, and I get that. I really do.
I've grabbed a carton of milk and I'm like, why is it frozen solid? Well,
yeah,
it was because
we have that problem. We have the gap.
Yeah.
But I'm talking, Nadja, the gap is inches, many inches.
Things I never can just fall through.
Yeah, I'll show it to you when you're here.
Okay,
it's maddening.
Okay.
It just makes us crazy. And there's just not enough space in this fridge. Out in the garage, we have a second fridge that has the French doors, like you're talking about. And then the freezer in the bottom.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah.
Yep.
We should have put that as our main fridge, but we didn't.
You can.
And now moving it. Sure. Andy and I can do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No way. That would be such a
when I'm there, I'll help you move. I'll help you move. I'll help you move the fridge.
Oh my God, what an ordeal.
You know me, I'm all about solutions. I'm like, come on, we can do this. Like, we can do this on our own.
Yeah, but see, we've made the problem so much worse now, because now we have this water system, the water purifier system up above the fridge that's connected to everything.
Okay.
Yeah, now it's a thing. Everything.
Reverse osmosis. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
okay.
It's actually,
well, that's fair.
Yeah. We did not bring you guys here to talk about fridges, but that's just what happens.
We sure didn't. I mean, you know me, I like to derail a conversation. So it's kind of like my thing.
Let me tell you about my weekend.
Yes,
because I have a raging headache because of my weekend.
Oh no.
Yes. So lately, I've been having some chest tightness.
Okay.
And I know, don't panic. It's nothing bad.
Okay.
It really isn't. But what has happened is Andy and I love, love, love coffee. We literally put coffee in our wedding vows. Yes. Listen, here we go. Right here. Wait. Hello, Kitty.
Oh.
So we love coffee, but we've been drinking way too much.
Oh, too much. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. We got up to 2.5 pots a day. is just way too much.
That is way too much.
And I was like, man, my chest is feeling tight, and I'm stressed, I'm
Yeah.
anxious, I'm
Mm-hmm.
freaking out all the time. I don't know what's wrong with me. And finally, I was like, wait a minute, wait. So we have
It's the
been,
caffeine.
yes, exactly. So now we're down to drinking half calf,
Okay.
and then sometimes the second pot is decaf.
Sure.
And so now I've had like somewhere between 10% and 25% of the caffeine that I've normally had. So
Mm.
I never nap. I'm not a napper. On Saturday, I took an hour and a half nap.
Oh my
I
gosh.
know. On Sunday, I took an hour long nap. I was so dazed and confused yesterday. I just stumbled around the house, did like just completely cheerful, very
Sure.
happy,
Yeah.
but completely confused.
Oh my goodness.
So I just spent the weekend just trying to get past that. I feel so much better today. But oh man, this weekend was just crazy because we were just exhausted and
Yeah.
um confused. But now I'm having the caffeine headaches, that
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah. That's the worst. And I don't know how long it normally takes for you, but is it like a couple of day detox almost
I
or
don't know. This is new for me.
okay.
Yeah. So we did this once back when we lived in Bedford where we gave up coffee completely for a period of time because Andy
Yeah.
was trying to figure out some health thing with her because she was getting this pinching feeling in her chest.
Mm.
And so we just went cold turkey. And then when we figured out what was going on, we went back to coffee. And because that's smart, because we figured out it was coffee. So of course, once we knew, we are
Yeah.
like, oh well, screw it, let's just have more coffee. It was the most glorious day of our life when we had full calf after that. We cleaned the entire house in one day, from
Oh
room
yeah.
to room. Yeah, because it was like, man, this is cocaine. Um, Not that I've ever had cocaine. I've never had cocaine, but
Yeah,
that's what I
let's
imagine.
get that clear real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah. But that's what I imagine cocaine to be like. Or at
Sure.
least that's what it's like in the Wall Street movies.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah. Okay. So you're ordering you didn't order the fridge yet, but you're
No,
ordering
we're going to order it now. And actually this is probably the best time for something like this to happen
well,
with a
July
major
4th.
appliance
Yeah.
because the July 4th deals that are going on, like the one that we want is or the one that we have picked out, it's yeah, it's pretty heavily discounted.
It's nice. You
Yeah.
know, I always, when I go to Best Buy, I like to touch those Samsung fridges. Do you know which
Mm-hmm.
ones I'm talking about?
They're
They're so cool looking
the
and
ones that you
so
knock.
expensive. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
They're
knock and
just
it
so
like
neat.
shows you what's inside on the screen.
Yeah,
Yeah. So all of that is fun in theory.
sure.
Lance and I are definitely, I mean, we we have become the get off our lawn people because when it comes to and this is crazy, right? When it comes to technological advances in things like appliances and stuff like that, honestly, yeah, Lance and I are the get off our lawn. Like, I'm of the opinion, I'm like, why can't I buy a dumb car? Like, I don't want a
Yeah.
super smart car. Same thing with our appliances. I don't need my fridge to connect to Wi-Fi, like, and tell me what the weather is. I just want it to cool, like, keep my food cold.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I like all of that tech. I
Yeah,
think it's
like it's
really
cool in
fun,
theory, right?
but I don't know how I would use it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And maybe if we had a big family, I don't know. But it's just one of those things that I think is really neat to look at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
No, I love playing with it and
yeah,
I love it when other people have it because I'm like, "Oh, this is really neat," or whatever. But,
yeah,
after a while I'm like the novelty will wear off and then what hits me is, okay, now there's multiple points of failure, right? Like especially like the idea of the refrigerators that have the multiple doors, like you can just open
sure.
the door, like the inside door, so you can access that and you don't need to access like the inside part of the fridge, but then there's a second door. So I'm like, okay, so now you've just like quadrupled the number of seals that you need
Yeah,
to
yeah,
maintain, like it's stuff like
totally.
that I think of.
I
And I
will tell you
know
one thing
that's
that
really dumb.
we have in our fridge out in the garage that I didn't think I would like it as much, or we would use it quite as much as we have. It has a middle drawer.
Oh, yeah.
It can be a freezer or cool. We
Right.
use that all the time.
Yeah.
That thing has been amazing. I love that.
My parents have that, and that's usually the it's like the cheese and
Yeah.
and like lunch meats drawer.
Yeah, I really like that. That has served us quite well.
Yeah. So again, our point wasn't to talk about refrigerators.
No.
It was to
No.
continue the conversation that we didn't get to finish last time.
But it did remind me of something
Yeah,
that
what's
happened
that?
this weekend. Did you see the Tesla car deliver itself this weekend?
No.
This is amazing, Nadja. So this weekend, or this past week, I guess, I'm not sure what day it was. First, I believe, as far as I know, this is historical, and that's why I think it's worth bringing up. A Tesla car went from off the line of Tesla, drove itself 100% by itself to its new owner.
That's insane.
It is insane. I have watched the video now multiple times because they did a video of it from the inside of the car.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I loved that Carvana delivered my car to me in my driveway and then hung out while I test drove it to make sure that it was exactly the one that I, like I thought that was really cool. But for your brand new car to drive itself to your house, and then it's like, hello, I'm here. Like, that is both cool and also very unnerving.
Well, and that's, it's like, it's one of those things where you're watching this and, here, let's just watch a couple of minutes of it. Super short video. It's a super short video. Okay. Okay. Oh my God, I'm so tired.
Do you need a nap?
Maybe. Okay. Now, it says here that the vehicle is operating robo-taxi software.
Okay.
Okay. So you can see the screen? Okay, here we go. So here it is. This is the factory where it was made. So it's the silver car in the bottom screen. I'm sure you figured that out. I don't know what I'm saying. It's just very unnerving to see that steering wheel just slightly move like that.
Of course, it's a Cybertruck that's making the outside.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. That's funny. Well, yeah, they want to film this for sure, of course. I think this stop and go traffic is what got me the most. How good it is at that.
Well, for me, it's the changing lanes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like to overtake the slower cars.
Yeah, I'll turn the music off. It's really loud.
So I I drove my brother's Tesla because he blocked me in my driveway, and I was like, I need you to move your car. And he was
Yeah.
like, okay, I'll move it. And I'm like, I can't wait for you to move it. Like, I'll move your car so I can park my car in the garage.
Okay.
And driving his Tesla, because he's got, I don't know which type it is, but it's the 4-door one.
Okay.
I was like, it it feels heavy. Like when you drive it, it drives heavy.
That's interesting. See, I've
It
never been in one.
is interesting. And basically like you take your foot off of the brake, and like with a gas powered car,
Here it is. It's delivered.
oh my gosh. So it knows which apart. Well, and that's the other thing, like how accurate does the GPS have to be?
I don't know. Now, obviously, because this is, the first time this has ever happened, there's Tesla people standing out there waiting for
Well,
it.
right, yeah, and they're like
Yeah.
monitoring it, and as
Yeah.
they should, by the
Of
way.
course. Of course.
Yeah.
And that's it. So you were saying it's heavy?
Yeah, it drives heavy. And like with a gas powered car, you take your foot off the brake, and it like you're self-propelled almost.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? And then you have to keep your foot on the brake so that you don't continue going. So backing out of the driveway, like I took my foot off the brake, and it was like an almost not immediate, but like it rolled back a little bit and then just stopped.
Oh, wow.
And so pressing on the gas
Yeah.
was like it's very stiff. So everything feels heavy, like you're being pulled down.
Interesting.
And it was very strange for me because I was
Mhm.
like, okay, well now I feel like everything just feels like a lot more effort. Because even like
Fascinating.
turning the wheel
Uh-huh.
also felt heavy, like I was like, man, this is like you gotta move that wheel.
Does he like the car? I didn't
I
know he
mean,
had a Tesla.
that's what he drives.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, he likes it enough.
Does he? Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, we our Lincoln will park itself, our new Lincoln,
Yeah.
but we don't do it. We don't use it because it's weird. It's just
Right.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we tried it. We went out and tested it out and let it do it and, just to experience it. And we were like, well, that was great. Okay, we'll just keep doing that ourselves.
Yeah.
Um, sorry. So it was just a weird sensation. So having this car just deliver itself is cool. It's
Yeah.
amazing,
Hmm.
but also just weird, you
Yeah.
know? And so I don't know. The whole thing is
Well,
maybe it's heavy like that because it's designed to eventually drive itself like it just did.
I mean, that could possibly be it, but I think it's more, just the batteries. The batteries are heavy.
Mm,
So,
uh-huh.
and like if you have been driving for a long time, like there are minute things that you feel and that like when you drive a different car, you
Yes.
can feel a difference because
Right.
you're used to one way, and then you're driving a different car and it rides a different way, like so you can like sense that if you've been driving for a while. But even those like small differences, like when you get into another car, the the process of driving is the same in every single car. You press the
Yeah.
gas, and then it propels you forward. You hit the brake, and then
The
you slow down
mechanics,
or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah, so there's those very specific things that you just have that expectation across the board. But with a Tesla, it feels different. And that was the other thing too. I was like, okay, so to start the car, you know, that was a whole deal. And I was like, okay, how do I start this damn car? And then to turn it off, I was like, how do I turn off? And then it turned into okay, maybe if I do this, because there's a gear shift, but basically it's a little it's like the turn signal essentially, right?
Okay.
So up is park, or no, up is reverse, then drive, and then park is like the button at the end.
Weird. Really?
But to shut off the car, you press that park button twice. But nowhere does it say that. Because
Interesting.
at least
Yeah.
in a regular car, when it switched to the push button, right, instead of a key push button, it tells you like press the brake and press the button. And you're like, oh, okay, so let me do that. Press the brake, press the button.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the Tesla, like I was sitting there for a couple of minutes, like looking for an off button or something, and I've got and this is like 2 o'clock in the morning too. So
Oh,
I've got my
no.
phone and my flashlight just like trying to look for a fucking button.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Like an idiot because, I'm like, I need to be
Well, how would you
told.
know? How would you
Yeah.
know?
I'd never
This is
driven
not
one before.
intuitive.
It
Yeah.
wasn't intuitive. And so I just happened to, because I couldn't, and on the screen, like there's a power button there, but the power button is for the screen. And so I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then I had to go into if I were a tech person, what do I think might make sense to other people
Sure.
where I won't have to explain it to them? But I mean, I had to sit there and think about it, I had
Yeah,
to
that's
go through
crazy.
a whole process. And I'm like, well, what happens if I press the park button twice? So I did it, and then the car shut down. And I was like, that's stupid because maybe if they had like park/off.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm not saying that people are dumb, but I'm saying people are dumb. Like we need to be told
Yeah.
how
Totally.
things work.
Totally. Now, before we leave this topic, I do love the idea of a car like what if it needs service, it could just drive itself.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, hey, I programmed you, told you what to do, go get an oil change. Thank
Yeah.
you. That's amazing. That would be a really big deal because
Yeah.
that stuff's annoying,
Mhm. Well,
Um,
but the self-driving cars, especially like electric, they would have different types of maintenance. And I feel like,
sure, whatever it
um,
is, just,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. I just think having that would be cool, but it would also be weird because like that means cars would be constantly going off to maintenance or get
Mhm.
their tires rotated, whatever.
Yeah,
And then you never know if the car, all around you are drivers or not drivers. And which
right.
one's safer, by the way? I don't know. Maybe a driverless car is safer.
Well, I mean, you've seen
Uh-oh.
those like in Austin, they took away the driverless cars. Like they removed it from the city because they were doing the oh, what is
Waymo?
it? They were doing like a test run for these, huh?
The Waymos?
The what? Yes, yes,
They
yes.
took them away? I didn't know they took them
Well,
away.
they took them away. I don't know if they've brought them back, but there was a point where they stopped running them because Austin is known for 6th Street, right? And
Right.
then they close roads on the weekends in the
Mm-hmm.
evenings for 6th Street, and there were a couple of times where these self-driving cars like basically caused a traffic jam because they clustered together and none of them were moving because the
Oh.
others weren't moving, and then it just turned into a big like
Oh, wow.
scene. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I think they might have brought them back because I heard something about them this weekend when I was showing
yeah.
people this
I mean,
Tesla thing.
this was a while ago
Yeah, but that's
whenever
interesting.
that
See,
whole
I think
situation happened and then they pulled it.
things like that though are going to be so fascinating to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, this whole thing is interesting. I don't
Yeah.
know how I feel about it. I just think
Mhm.
it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen the robot that's been walking around downtown Austin? It wears a cowboy hat and Nike tennis shoes, and
No.
nobody will claim it publicly, and it just walks around all day.
No, I haven't seen that. So the robot seen walking around Austin alone. It wears a cowboy hat. It's a Unitree robot.
Oh, did somebody claim it?
I don't know. It just says these unitary robots are all human controlled. Okay, wait, hang on.
Hold on, I'll show you. This cracks me up.
Oh my gosh.
On the
Okay. See my screen?
Yeah.
Well, turning now to a strange sight on the streets of Austin. Maybe you spotted this today on social media or in person. A robot wearing a cowboy hat walking alone on South Congress. We reached out to APD and the city to see if they knew anything about this, but it's still unclear tonight who the robot belongs to and why it was out there walking all by itself. If any of you at home know, let us know. Give us a call or just email us at news@kview.com.
Interesting.
I know. Austin is turning into this interesting place, you know?
I mean, it's always been an interesting place.
Well, that's true. It's true. It's just, I feel like tech is getting crazy down there.
Yeah.
Okay. So speaking of tech, I had a process that was taking up a tremendous amount of my time.
Yep.
That was not crucial. Oh, okay. Let me rephrase that. It's crucial. It's a very, very important process, but it was frustrating that I had to spend so much of my time on it because it wasn't the best use of my time. I was just the only person available to do it.
Right. Okay.
And what that was, now when I say this, let me be clear. Humans still write our content and humans still create our recipes, whether it's us or somebody that we hire. Okay.
Right.
So, but there are aspects of all of this work, such as when we also have humans that create all of our Pinterest images for us. But the writing of the Pinterest title, the Pinterest description, matching all of that up, and the whole process of the back end side of getting it all done. I used to have to do all of that by hand myself and then pass it to Will, who makes our Pinterest images for us and then schedules everything and publishes everything. So I started feeding ChatGPT a lot of our writing and how I would write these things and trained it very seriously. And then started working with it to create processes and procedures that I could pass to Will so that Will could then do it instead of me.
Yep.
And so now Will uses Gemini and processes all of this for me, creates all of this stuff, and then passes it back to me. I read through it, approve it. Once I've approved it, then he can go from there and do all of the work required. So other than me telling him this is what I want him to do and reading through it to approve it, something that I would spend about 40% of my week on is now off of my plate completely. And that is a dramatic reduction. And I'm just so pumped about it. And we wouldn't be able to do that without AI.
See, and that's so amazing. Like, and we've talked about this before, how, the fear of AI taking jobs. And then you and I went back and forth a little bit during that time where we were uncertain how that was going to work out. Where it's like, well, yes, it's going to replace people, but it's more of a, like, then you can transfer your skills into something else, right?
Right.
Similar to how, like, machines took over the jobs that people were doing, but it became safer, and then the people started overseeing what the machines were doing.
Right.
So just the fact that you were able to do this and then transition that entire task and, like, remove yourself from it pretty much completely, right? Like, I mean, obviously you still do
Spot check it.
Yeah, you do quality
QC.
control.
I do QC. That's really what I do.
Yeah.
I do the strategy and the QC.
Yeah.
And the funny thing too is that it's
you just eliminated that middle part, because you still come up with a strategy, and then you look at the end result, and then you're still making sure that your strategy, the end result, matched your strategy, but it's that middle part that you've cut yourself out of.
Yeah. So also, to your point about jobs, which I think is interesting, is that I was struggling. I was working 7 days a week to get this crucial work done because most of our traffic comes from Pinterest at this point. I was spending 7 days a week trying to get this done so that I could keep Will busy. And it was taking so much of my time to get this most important work done to also that he had work to do during the week. And I was getting so frustrated that I was like, I don't know if I should keep Will because I can't keep him busy because I am spending all of my time on this process.
Right.
And now Will has more work than he'll ever be able to do in his life because of this. So now he has a more secure job than he did before using the AI. So I think that that's kind of an interesting outcome to all of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, it's not a big conversation. It's just an important conversation.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's fantastic that you were able to do that. And what a relief, because obviously it was a huge relief for you, right? Because now you can focus on other things. And actually, that brings us to the thing that you had brought up before we started recording, which is how do you know if you're doing the right thing, right?
Yeah, I have been waiting all weekend to talk to you about this because I know that video is the right thing. I know that part. Okay. So we know that video is a huge part of the future, obviously, for every brand. I mean, you can't get away from it. TikTok, Facebook wants you to make video, YouTube, everything is video, video, video. So much so that even Mediavine had us fill out a survey. Do you use video? Do you make videos? Do you want to make more videos? You know, like everywhere I turn in my industry right now, everybody's about video. So the next question is, am I doing the right kind of video?
Right.
Because there's the video that we like to watch as people. There's the video that is the most important thing is the kind of videos that our people want to watch. But also, sometimes you have an opportunity to introduce something new to the arena.
Right.
Right? So in my case, I have hundreds of recipes, and therefore I have hundreds of photo shoots for these recipes. What I do not have is hundreds of backlogs of videos to edit for these recipes. And to make all of the recipes again would be this huge undertaking that would take me years.
Right.
And I can't do that. So I started making some videos, I'm talking specifically vertical videos at this point, of using my images with a voiceover of me talking about how to make the recipe. And I like zoom in and out and I try to put cutesy stickers and stuff like that. I don't see anyone else making videos like this. I can't find anyone else doing this. Which means one of the two things. Either this is an excellent idea because nobody else is doing it, or it's a terrible idea because nobody else is doing it.
Right.
And I don't know how to know the answer to that unless I make a shit ton of videos and see how it goes.
Right.
Yeah. So I was just curious, do you have any thoughts on how to discern something like that? If you don't see anyone doing the thing that you're thinking about doing, does that make you lean away or lean in?
I mean, it depends.
Yeah.
It
There's
really
no right
does.
answer to this question, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it really does depend because it's almost a two-way street, right? Because on the one hand, maybe you're not seeing anybody do it because it is time consuming. Like it's effort to be able to do that, right? I mean, because on the flip side of it, there are a lot of people doing things that I just don't have the motivation or energy to do. But I'm like, but I love that. Like, I love that type of content. And I would love to be able to produce that type of content myself. But at the same time, I'm like, I just don't have the mental capacity to put in that time and effort, you know? So I'll just enjoy other people do it. That could very well be what that is. Nobody else wants to put in that type of effort because in your specific niche, if they're recording themselves start to finish.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
then that's their content.
Right. Right.
So I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't know. I'm gonna go in on this and um I'm gonna do this, but I don't know what the results of it are gonna be.
Yeah.
Um
And there
and
are
I'll
many
mix
ways to test it too, because you could always pick like your most popular recipes, like the ones that people go to all the time, and then try it out there. But then it becomes a question of, well, is this popular because of the format that it's currently in, which is it's on a website, it's text, they can with like static pictures,
Yeah.
and they can just like pick and choose which part they want to focus on. Like, is that the reason why it's doing well? Or will it do even better when you have that secondary, like more visual format where somebody can watch the process, like, so is it truly the recipe, or is it the format that it's being presented in?
Yeah, I know. I don't know. And so now that I've freed up some of this time, I have the ability to
Yeah.
zone in on this
Yeah.
and see how it goes. I fail a lot. I do a lot of failure projects.
Sure.
And so we'll see. And sometimes every once in a while, in a great mood, I have a success.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you guys updated.
Yeah, no, keep
Because
me posted. Because
yeah, there's
I click on your links in your emails.
yes, I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. That gets me paid. That's the only way I get paid. Yeah. Um, okay, so I guess that's it. We should go.
All right.
Mostly because my head just won't stop.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go
It's
drink some
okay.
water.
You think that'll help?
Drinking water?
Well, with caffeine headache, I don't know.
Yeah, because it's dehydration.
Is that what it is?
Typically, yeah, the
Oh,
headache.
I had no idea. I didn't take the time to learn why I have a headache from drinking less coffee. I just know I do.
Well, because caffeine is a diuretic, right?
Okay.
So it naturally dehydrates you, which means that you should be drinking more water to begin with. But typically, like, people will be like, "Oh, I need more coffee." So you are, in essence, like drinking more
Oh,
liquids, but
yeah.
you're drinking more liquids that's going to exacerbate the dehydration problem.
Well, there you go. It is time to switch to water anyway. So I will do
I'm
that.
also completely talking out of my butt. Like, I have no idea.
Hold on. Let's ask
I don't know
ChatGPT.
anything. So
Let's ask ChatGPT. Hold on.
here we go. Yeah.
Why do I have a headache when I am having less caffeine? It's thinking. You're likely experiencing caffeine withdrawal.
Sure.
Caffeine constricts blood vessels in your brain. When you stop or reduce caffeine, those blood vessels dilate, widen, increasing blood flow, causing pressure changes that lead to headaches. Your brain chemistry is adjusting. Weird. That's really weird. Caffeine blocks adenosine, a chemical that promotes sleep and relaxation.
Okay.
You're going through withdrawal. So it's like I'm an addict going through withdrawal. Okay. How to feel better? Hydrate. Rest. Oh, I'm resting plenty. Try a gradual taper, which is what I'm doing. And if all that doesn't work, use some ibuprofen. That's funny. Okay, so water, I'm going through withdrawal, and ibuprofen.
There you go.
Yeah, I think that's my formula.
There's your doctor's
Yeah,
prescription.
there you go. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully by the time we do this again on Thursday.
Thursday, yes.
Yeah. Because Friday's the 4th, right?
Friday is the 4th.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Just let us know if you have seen robots walking around by themselves in your city. Let us know,
Yes.
because we'd love to see and learn more about those. If you have replaced roles in your business with AI, again,
Oh, I want to hear about
we'd
that for
love to
sure.
know
Yeah.
about those too.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like if anything that we've talked about you can relate to, or you have a story surrounding it, like please join us, tell us. We would love to know, hear about it, learn about it, and then share it with everybody else too. So, yeah. Okay, that's
Okay.
it. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.